Hey everyone, it's Ann from What's Up Homestead. Today I'm going to can pinto beans. I'm using the recipe from the Ball Blue Book. I have a 12-pound bag of pinto beans. The Ball Blue Book recipe uses 6 3/4 cups. I would use half of that next time. It made a lot of beans and I had to do 2 canner loads. The recipe says to put your beans in the pot and cover them with at least 2 inches of water over the top. It says to boil the beans for 2 minutes and then turn off the heat and cover the beans and let them sit for 1 hour. Okay, it's been an hour, so I took the beans and drained them. I'm covering them with fresh cold water, covering by 2 inches. I'm going to let them come to a boil and boil them for 30 minutes. Okay, I've put 8 cups of water in the canner. Now I'm going to put my rack at the bottom to keep the jars lifted off the bottom of the pot. I'm going to put my jars in the canner to keep them warm. I'm using quarts, so I've got my 7 jars in the canner staying warm while I get everything ready.
Okay, I've got my hot jar. I've got a funnel. I've got this tool to get the air out of the jar. I've got pickling salt. And I've got a scoop to get out the beans with. And I have my jar lifter. So it says to put the beans in the jar. And I'm going to put my salt in first. This is a half a teaspoon. You would use a teaspoon for quarts. You would use a half a teaspoon for pints. So I'll put 2 in there because these are half teaspoons. It says to put the beans in there and then put the hot liquid in there. So I'm going to use the liquid that's in the beans. And if you run out, it says you could put hot water in there or boiling water. So this is a lot of beans, so I probably will have to do that. And I put this towel down because I've already lost a bean. And it usually kind of makes a mess, so I try to catch it with either a paper towel or I've got a plate, a little small plate. I usually use a bowl, but all my bowls are in the dishwasher. And you're going to need to bring it to 1 inch headspace, so I'm not going to go all the way because I need to put liquid in there. I can't find my tool, but right here at the rim of the jar is 1 inch, and you have the little grooves in there that tells you what is what. So that looks good. I'm going to cover it with the liquid. You want everything to be hot, your jar, your beans, and your liquid. And that goes down right to the edge. So I'm going to just put my tool down into the beans. I don't want to mash them too much to just kind of get some of that air out. You could also just put it to the end of the jar and just come out. Make sure all that air trapped down there is coming out. Okay, and you might have to adjust your headspace. You might need a little bit more liquid in there. Just make sure you maintain that inch headspace. And I also have my lids and rings in hot water. This is not necessary anymore per the USDA or ball canning, but I still like to do it. It's just hot water from my tap. So I'm going to put my lid on, put my ring on, make sure it's on straight, and I just do it finger tight. I do it not loose, but it's not tight either. So it's not hot, so I'm going to go ahead and put it into the canner. Okay, I'll show you one more. Hot jar, funnel, and I'll probably have to do 2 loads of these because there's a lot of beans, but we might have some for dinner tomorrow too. Okay, just putting the beans in here, no liquid. And a lot of people on on YouTube do the no soap method, but I like to go by the rules. I'm not a rule breaker. I never have been. So I like the beans the way they are this way, so I'm going to keep doing that. Okay, so I'm going to put more liquid. I'm trying to get it closer. Okay. Well, I forgot the salt, so it's okay if you want to put it in before or after, makes no difference. You'll be stirring it around anyway when you get the air out. So just stick your tool in there. And I didn't do it in the other one, but it'll be okay. But wipe down your jar and make sure nothing is on the rim of it before you put down your lid and ring. Okay, so there's another lid and a ring. Just fingertip tight, and I'm going to get the rest of these done, and I'll show you. Okay, I have them all in the canner, and I'm going to put the lid on. Okay, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a steady stream going up, and we're timing it for 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to put my weight on, and I am going to use this gauge just as a reference until it gets to 10 pounds pressure. When it gets up to 11 pounds, I'm going to back the heat off a little by little. You do not want it to go over 10 pounds. If you do not want it to go under 10. If it goes under 10, you will have to do it all over again. I don't care if it's been 59 of 60 minutes. You still have to do it over again. So make sure you watch this. You don't have to just stand in front of it, but you want to make sure that it does not go under. And that's the great thing about a weight. You can see it got to 10 pounds and it started jiggling. So I'm going to let it jiggle for a few minutes and get to like 11 pounds. And once it gets to 11 pounds, if it goes any further than 11 pounds, I'm going to back up the heat slowly so it doesn't go too far back and I have to start all over again. So it's at 11. So I'm going to start for pints. You would do an hour and 15 minutes. For quarts, an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to put in my timer for a minute for an hour and 30 minutes. Okay, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to turn off the heat. And I'm going to take it off the burner, and I am not going to touch it until the pressure goes all the way down. It will go to 0, and that will, this will drop. So if I'm sitting in the living room, I can hear that thing drop. So I'm just going to take it off the burner carefully, and then I'm going to wait for the pressure to drop before I do anything else, and then I'll come back. It is at 0. It's at 0, and this little knob is down. And after it comes down to pressure, wait 5 minutes. I've waited 5 minutes, so now I'm going to open the lid. When you open it, make sure you let the steam come out from the back. And watch out, because there's water that's going to be in the front. And don't be like me and just get it on your toe. So I'm going to take the lid off. So you want to go ahead and carefully grab them with your jar lifter, but do not tilt the jar. If it has water on the top, it will go away. It will evaporate on its own. See, it's still bubbling, and it will probably for another hour. So just grab them gently. Don't be rough with them. Just gently set them down, and make sure you have a little bit of room between them so they can cool down faster. But you don't want it to be in a drafty place. And I always put mine on a towel, but be sure wherever you put them that you don't disturb them for at least 12 hours. So put them somewhere where they won't be disturbed and there's no draft.
And I've got another batch to can. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up after I get these out with more water and start the process all over again. And I can't wait to hear those dings. So just leave these for 12 to 24 hours. And after that, you can take the rings off and write beans on there and the date you canned them. So I hope this helped.